Screen Forecast, your host Ivan Kamau. As you know it, we have a lot that we got to talk about as it turns briefly stormy getting into early next week. That severe threat that I know a lot of you have heard for Monday, April 27th, and I'm here to talk about that and what would be a best case scenario for our region, as well as talking about what's next with those temperature trends, any encouraging signs. You want to stick around for that, but of course, the most important thing, what's drawn you to this video, is that severe threat for Monday, April 27th, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, just for Monday, and it is this enhanced risk that it was put out by a storm prediction center down in Norman, Oklahoma. That does include our region as well as a good portion of Illinois in that level 3 out of 5 risk. And while this does scream a higher end risk for severe weather, there is some stuff you want to put on the table here, and that is ongoing thunderstorms out to our west that will impact areas especially along and north of I-70 getting into early Monday morning. I think this will bring a heavy rain as well as a small hail threat. These storms will be monitored for all hazards just in case, but generally that could be what, if it becomes a little bit more widespread, lower that severe threat for St. Louis and push that risk a little bit further down to the south. It's what we call morning convection. So if you have a lot of cloud cover, that would be a good thing. But if that moves out really quickly, we got to watch later in the afternoon for storms to initiate and develop. And this is where, as they initiate, they have the greatest hail threat, especially along and west of the Mississippi, as you can see here depicted by a Storm Prediction Center's outlook. And then as these storms congeal into a line, that is really where that damaging wind and tornado threat will really increase, especially as they push into Illinois. But as you can see, that tornado threat for right now is highest along and north of I-70, but if this area is impacted by that morning convection, and if we have showers and thunderstorms that overspread the area in the morning, that would be a best case scenario and push that tornado threat way down to the south. Still including a good portion of my coverage area though, but again, that would be a good thing if we can push this tornado threat down to the south. So I really don't want you guys stressing about this. Let's hope that we have the best case scenario, but you do want to be prepared nonetheless for the worst case scenario. Let's hope that doesn't happen though. And again, that wind threat really increases as it pushes down to the east. You notice they have these probabilities out of 45% chance of damaging winds, at least up to 60 miles per hour. There could be some spots that have even more as it pushes out to the east. But again, if there's any severe weather threat, I think it'll be done by at least 10 p.m. on Monday for our friends out in Illinois before it pushes out to Indiana, Kentucky, and then you get the point from there. So again, I want you to be prepared. Let's hope though for the best case scenario, because it is on the table. If we can get a lot of showers and thunderstorms in the morning, that can push that higher end threat down to the south. You want to always have a NOAA weather radio. Replace the batteries on them because alerts come immediately. Ensure that it is toggled on so that you can get the latest information from our friends at the National Weather Service. You can also have a charged cell phone. This is probably what everyone will have, and I encourage you to have a charged cell phone with you so you can get the latest information from our friends at the National Weather Service. And this is nothing to overwhelm you about. I really hope, especially those that with storm anxiety, find comfort in this video knowing that there is a best case scenario. And so please don't stress about this. We're going to be just fine. St. Louis is very resilient, and that is why I'm wearing my St. Louis Strong shirt, because we always come together when storms move through the region. So definitely make sure you have yourself a NOAA weather radio for the next event that we see by going to Midland, USA to keep your family safe during the 2026 severe weather season. Let's move forward now and talk about those temperature trends. Some encouraging signs as we get into early May, with signs that we might see a brief cool down. Now, I don't know how long this will last. At least we're seeing signs that it could last well into the month, but our normal highs getting into early May are in the lower to mid 70s. This would be temperatures that could briefly get in the 60s. Definitely, this will be something to keep a close eye on as we proceed even into that 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. That brief cool down, you notice confidence does drop a little bit. That's why can't be for sure that it will last very long, because these above normal temperatures most definitely will probably come back at some point into our region. But let's enjoy that brief cool down. I'm hopeful that that can help mitigate severe weather at least through these early portions of May. But of course, we know May can also be another big month for severe weather. Let's just hope it's not focused on the Midwest. And of course, that 3 to 4 week long range temperature outlook still showing that consistency. Let's hope, because we don't want any more severe weather. You know it if you're watching me in Illinois or Oklahoma. We've already dealt with so much severe weather, and hopefully this will be a nice brief break while it lasts, and we'll definitely enjoy that brief cool down as it's there. But until then, that's going to do it for this green screen forecast. Again, lots to watch over the next 24 hours. But again, St. Louis, let's just hope for that best case scenario. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. You know what they say, and you always want to play it safe rather than sorry, right? So make sure you follow me on X, also Instagram at Weather with Alvin. That's the same thing for Threads. So if you haven't followed me on there, what are you waiting for? You want to follow me on there so that I can bring you the latest update. Some better days ahead after this. But until then, definitely follow me there. The link to that will be down in the description. We're going to get through this, St. Louis. You're going to be just fine. Let's hope for the best. Well then, I hope you have a safe start to your week, St. Louis.